Hi, I'm Michael Lee from That's It LA, and I get to talk to Fowler, the director of Sonic 3. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you as well. One of my favorite things about this franchise is how the story grows so organically. It doesn't feel like something part of a machine of sorts. You just one installment after another. There's an actual like trajectory to this. And I was just wondering, could you talk about some of the fun things that you've discovered along the way as you've developed Sonic's story and where it is today, basically?
Oh, I mean, a lot of the direction of these stories and the films and the path of the stories, it really is been kind of, is sort of a finding the balance between what the stories that fans love in the games, and knowing that like perfect examples is Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure 2, where Shadow was originally introduced, and sort of taking inspiration from that and helping that kind of inform our choices with our story, and then also just making it feel like the development, like Sonic's development as a kid, and finding family in movie one, making friends in Tails and Knuckles in Sonic 2, learning to become a leader, in Sonic 3, and be faced with hard choices. It really is wanting to put Sonic on the path of something that I think kids can see themselves in, that parents can kind of see in what they're doing and how they're trying to raise their kids and set them up to be good people. So yeah, as much fun as the fantastic elements of these movies are, and the action and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all that stuff and going
Yes.
going big with the visual effects. You want it to have a really good heart. You want it to be something that people can relate to, that they can connect with the characters. And so that's really the trick, I think, is just and it's it's each film is a little different in how we go about it. But yeah, that's kind of our compass, is to always ground it in what families and kids can kind of relate to.
Now, I love that answer, by the way.
Yes.
I can't not talk about having Keanu Reeves in Sonic 3
Yeah, of
because,
course.
he's great in Shadow, as Shadow. But when you had that kind of name drop of speed in the first Sonic, and Shadow had to be involved in the franchise, obviously. Did you have that kind of envisioning that like, oh, this could be a perfect pairing, possibly, right when you did the first Sonic?
It's funny. I don't even remember. Normally, your head is down and you're just trying to finish what's in front of you and to finish
Okay.
the movie. Sure, in the back of your mind, you're looking ahead and be like, what if we got to do this? I mean, I absolutely like we had such a steady progression in terms of the characters being introduced. I mean, obviously, Sonic 1
Mhm.
was Sonic and Robotnik. We didn't even have Tails in the movie. So it's like been very fortunate that we've got to take our time with it. And no one came along and said, "No, you got to put all these characters in the first movie." Like we've really been able to sort of bring them in one at a time, give them good introductions that make the audience relate to them and understand, dramatically what they're going through. And so yeah, it just to have made it all the way to number three and to get to introduce Shadow. But we've all been fans of Keanu's forever, obviously, and I don't remember there ever being another name associated with Shadow other than Keanu on our side and with our team. I think we all knew he would just be perfect. So we're so lucky he said yes, and like it's just wonderful to have him now as part of our Sonic family, and I think he's
Yeah.
really having fun and is happy to be there.
And can you talk about some of the recording booth sessions with Keanu? Because I imagine that was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the early days when you're just trying to establish the sound, like what is Shadow's voice, and I think we took a little time to kind of play around with it. But normally with these characters and these performances in the Sonic films, we're not looking for actors to come in and really affect their voice or modulate their voice in an extreme way, because then I think it just makes it harder for them to act, if you're really trying to change your voice. I think maybe from my standpoint, I just want them focused on giving us a great performance and not having to like push themselves, vocally. Like I think natural performance and more grounded sort of approaches are always have served us well.
Well, thank you so much for that. This is all the time I have. Unfortunately, I have a lot more questions, but I can't answer those. But like I said, I enjoyed all three movies so far, and I can't wait for the confirmed fourth. So yeah,
That's
thank you for
awesome.
that.
Thanks for the support, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.